Hello everyone, and welcome to part 3 of the explanation of .hack sign. So we continue after the ban of the Crimson Knights. They show a little brief story of how they came to be, and they show the early days when Subaru was playing the game. She had like a slightly different colors in her clothes, but she's still the same person. She was a very insecure girl who just hang out in areas and didn't want to do anything. Her first encounter in the game was Krim, who revealed to her that in the forums she became like a known character because everybody was talking about this character that didn't do anything. And since she showed so much insecurity, she was like a really big target for PKers. At least he was there to protect her, and he taught her lessons in life about keeping her head high, fighting and never showing fear, always being sure of herself, to play the game and enjoy the game for what it is. Characters appeared to attack them. They were beating up Krim, and she stood up against, she faced them, saying that the game is supposed to be a place to have fun and to enjoy with friends, that it's not supposed to be a place to go around killing people for no reason. At first they were kind of defensive with her, but her words made sense to them, and Krim gets up and he proclaims that both of them are the Crimson Knights. So he's the one that came up with the name, and obviously the name starts with his name, Krim, but then he just put it together and created the word, the word for Crimson Knights. That's where they started to influence other characters, other people who wanted to make a difference in the world, and they recruited people. They became an official group. They got their uniforms. She was basically the leader. That's how they started. Krim, after a while, became not pleased with what they've been doing, because they became sort of a little oppressive over the players, and he didn't want that. He just wanted to play a game. He didn't want to be like the police. So he quit the Crimson Knights, and he said that he was going to be around for her, but he wasn't going to be around for the Crimson Knights. So he even went as far as to give her his real life phone number. So that's their relationship, how it ended in the past. It continued in the real world, but obviously he wasn't going to be around for a while. And in the future, they show her now in the present in the series. She's like drifting around. She doesn't know what to do, because now that she's not the leader of the Crimson Knights, she doesn't have like anything else to do. She finds this other character that has her same design, and she says that it's become like a fad to create characters similar to Subaru. This girl thinks that she's one of those people who's like imitating Subaru's style. She sort of says to her that she's glad that the Crimson Knights are gone. Now they can all do whatever they want. At this point, Subaru understands that she's not a good person. She's just there to kill people, and she's like, oh yeah, you want to be my friend? But she just wants to kill someone. Subaru tries to stand her ground, but she's been not fighting for a really long time, and her words just make the girl angry, and she beats her up. They show her with her clothes teared up, so the girl didn't go as far as to kill her. She just left her in a pretty bad shape. This affected Subaru's emotions in the real world, because obviously it's not that she feels pain, it's more like an emotional damage that she had, and she needed some support. Luckily, Tsukasa, since he has a connection with her, he knew where to find her, and she just hugs him, asks him to be there for her and whatever. And he stays there with her, gives her support, and that this is where they reveal that in the real world she's on a wheelchair, and her reasons to play the game was to feel like she was living a life where she could walk. So that's why the game really means a lot to her, more than other people. Then they show in the game again the Silver Knight, who's now lost because he's lost his purpose. The Crimson Knights was everything for him. BT takes the opportunity to try and use him, saying that that he should help out on the quest to find the key of the Twilight. He becomes interested because he thinks, like, if I find the key of the Twilight and show that to Subaru, maybe she'll take me back. Like, he wants to become really powerful. And Subaru and Tsukasa's relationship just keeps growing. He takes her to the secret area where the girl was sleeping, but she's gone. Morgana took her away. When he asks for privacy, he wants to have a talk with Morgana. Morgana totally gets angry with him and tells him straight up that she doesn't need him anymore. And she kills his character using her power. She knows he can't technically die, so all she does is just torture him and make him feel a lot of pain. That totally freaks him out, and he completely stopped talking to everybody. Everybody was sending him messages, and he was not replying, not even to Subaru. So they know that something must have happened to him, and he's just freaked out beyond repair. Maha becomes concerned for Tsukasa. He gets close, and Tsukasa offers him like this little leaf, and that in itself made Maha question Morgana. For now, he's just questioning. He's not really making any decisions. They show the area where Morgana has the little girl. She has her upside down. She's at this point, you understand that for some reason Morgana wants to kill the little girl, and she's using the connection that Tsukasa has with her as the means of killing her. He says that she needs to fill Tsukasa's heart with more despair. Helba has a plan. He says that all of them should get together and go to a special area that she has provided. She will be opening a gate at a certain area at a certain time, and they all have to agree to go there. Well, the first area they have to go is that they found out that there are like a lot of copies of the man that is in the room, the upside down man that they identify as the broken man, but at this point of the story they reveal that the face that he has is the face of the man who created the game, called Harold, and they think that he might know more, like there might be more to the message that they heard before, that he must have like another information that they need to trigger by asking the right question. And Helba tells Bear that she knows where to find another copy of this character, so or the means to send them back to that room. So she sends them to the exact same area where Tsukasa was found at the beginning, to open a special gate that they call a Helba gate. He goes there, they go there, they encounter a monster that Morgana sends their way. This monster is a little different from the other ones. It's like a virus. It even expels a liquid that damages the area. Subaru loses her balance, she falls, and the monster is about to attack. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, this character with wings appears, like a knight. He is identified as Balmung, and before all of this happened, there's a scene where Subaru is talking to Silver Knight, and she says that the events that are occurring in the world have caught the attention of legendary characters, and the two characters that she mentions is Balmung of the Azure Sky and Orca of the Azure Sea, and them together are known as the descendants of Fianna. They're supposed to be like two of the most powerful characters in the whole game. And he protects them. He says to go on ahead, that he'll take care of the monster. Apparently, he's capable of at least keeping the battle going, because I believe the monster has infinite life, and he can't really defeat him, but they really don't show if he does or doesn't. The Helba Gate opens, they go through, they find Harold again, who identifies the little girl as Aura. And he says that, basically he says that Aura is like the most important thing in the whole world, and that Tsukasa is connected to her. That whatever Tsukasa feels is transmitted to Aura, and Aura's true form is the form of goodness, the form of light, the form of happiness. And they believe that Morgana wants to create a warped aura, like a really evil aura, and that's why she wants Tsukasa to feel negative emotions. That's why she sort of filled his heart with hope at the beginning, so that later on she can fill it up with despair. Sora is minding his own business. Oh, and by the way, Morgana finds out that he's talking to Harold, and she kills... Well, she doesn't kill Harold. She sort of erases the whole area, but there are like other versions of himself, other copies in other areas, as mentioned before. Sora's walking around, minding his own business, and all of a sudden he spots Maha, who tries to teleport back to the area where Morgana is. He jumps in, grabs him, and he's teleported to this area. And now he's found Aura. He's like, yeah, I found the key of the Twilight. But he can't do anything about it. He can teleport now back and forth to this area whenever he wants. Everybody's contacted. The previous plan to go to this area where Helba is gonna meet up with all of them. Tsukasa at first ignored the messages, but now he's shown up into the church. He finds Krim. He's like really scared. Krim says that he needs to face his fears, that they'll wait for him, that they believe in him, whatever. The Helba Gate opens, everybody goes through. Subaru stays behind, waits for Tsukasa to make up his mind if he wants to go, because he's pretty scared. They show up in this area where they find a bunch of damaged copies of Tsukasa, and they don't understand what's going on. All of a sudden, Tsukasa and Subaru show up, and he made up his mind and he went there. He's a little freaked out at what he sees, but he sort of manages. They say that he shouldn't worry about it, that there must be an explanation behind it. And then all of a sudden, Helba comes down from the sky, being all godly and all that. And then they start talking about what's been going on up until this point of the story. She said that around 6 months ago, the area first is identified. She says, welcome to Net Slum, and it's an area where all the junk data of the game ends up there, and she uses that data to expand her little world and make it better. And she says that other hackers have similar places like this one. She says that she's been getting junk data from the world, and part of that data is a bunch of copies of Tsukasa, but damaged copies, obviously. And it's like failed copies. And they find out that Morgana has been trying to copy Tsukasa to create a copy that can just fulfill the purpose of destroying Aura, because they know now that it's not that Morgana wants to create an evil Aura, it's that she wants Aura to be destroyed. Because when they show Aura's feet at one scene, they show that her feet are being eaten away, and it's basically that she's being erased by Tsukasa's negative emotions. But that's so far what she's managed. Like, Tsukasa needs to be like really devastated for Aura to disappear. And Sora's like wondering like what the hell's going on here, how am I supposed to use this item. Morgana speaks to him, tries to bribe him to get them to get to the team and find Tsukasa and bring him despair, to kill him a bunch of times and just make him suffer. She offers him the Guardian. She's like, yeah, I can give you this. He refuses. He runs away because she starts attacking him, and he says, I'll see you later. He's like mocking Morgana. He's totally not afraid of her. She sends Maha to Net Slum, and Maha calls that Guardian. The Guardian starts attacking Subaru. They know now at this point that Morgana wants to kill Subaru, so that it brings a lot of suffering to Tsukasa's heart, so that Aura can just disappear completely. They all cover him so that he can run away with Subaru, and they are intercepted by the Guardian. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, his Guardian shows up, defends him, merges with this other Guardian, and disappear. It basically self-destruct itself. So we know at this point that the Guardian was really protecting him. He just had no control over it at the beginning. They celebrate. They give Tsukasa some hope. The damage on the feet of the little girl Aura are now a little bit more restored, and this really pisses off Morgana. Morgana's like she's running out of options. They go back to the church. Bear actually offers Tsukasa that when he comes back to the real world, which, by the way, he's been in a coma for 6 months, says that he will take care of him legally. He'll become his legal guardian, because he said that, that BT told him that if he wanted to keep involving himself in Tsukasa's life, he should take care. He should really go all the way and take responsibility, and he said, and he agrees, because in real life he's like a 40-year-old guy, and he agreed, and he's going to take care of Tsukasa in the real world, and Tsukasa feels really happy about that when he's able to log out, he doesn't have to go back to his father. Sora appears in this area to bother them again, and Krim decides to fight him. BT goes inside, and yet there's another Guardian. They all decide to fight it, while Krim and Sora fight outside. And of course, Maha is still debating if the actions of Morgana are, right or wrong. The battle goes on inside. It was the same plan again, as they distract the monster. Tsukasa was supposed to run away with Subaru, but Tsukasa stands his ground and says he was not going to run away anymore, and he's going to act as a healer for the party, and everybody else focuses on attacks. And they actually manage to defeat the monster, and they feel like, yeah, like it's victory for us, and even Krim manages to defeat Sora. But then 3 guardians appear, and at this point they're thinking like, how are we gonna defeat this? You know, what we're fighting is like endless. But then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Maha appears, and now Maha has decided to protect Tsukasa and sacrifices himself, making all these 3 guardians disappear, and dies. And Tsukasa feels pretty bad about it. Morgana tries to teleport Tsukasa and Subaru, and Mimiru jumps in. She's teleported as well. They're all teleported to this area separately in 3 different zones. Basically, the plan of Morgana at this point was to create illusions where an illusion of Tsukasa was going to show up to Mimiru and insult her. An illusion of Tsukasa was going to show up for Subaru to confuse her and make her feel bad. And both an illusion of Mimiru and Subaru were going to appear before Tsukasa to make him feel bad, so that they can become enemies and, you know, hate each other and all that. But then they figure out that it's all a lie, and because they figure it out, they found themselves back in a room, and they're like, what the hell's going on here? And all of a sudden they fall, and they finally reach the room where Aura is sleeping. At this point of the story, Tsukasa's not afraid anymore of Morgana. He tells her straight up, I'm not afraid of you, I got friends. Morgana is now like powerless against Tsukasa, and she, you know, it's not like she admits defeat, but she's basically scared of him. He says, you're scared of me, you're scared because you know that I can wake up this girl, like he was all along the only person who could wake her up. And when his resolve becomes strong, at least strong enough, the little girl actually wakes up. She starts shining, the whole area changes. Sora's like impressed, like hiding in a corner watching this whole event going on. The little girl opens her eyes, and she has this really cool understanding with Tsukasa. And he's like really happy that she finally opened her eyes. And you know, they're all happy and whatever, but all of a sudden Morgana's like really angry and says that she's gonna kill them all. Sora steps forward and says, your friends are at Net Slum, you guys should go meet them. Tsukasa's like, you should come with us, and he's like, I'll catch up. They go away, and then he just decides to stay there to insult Morgana further, and then say, well, I'm gonna go now, but apparently Morgana blocked him. He's unable to go. He's crucified in this red staff, and he's destroyed by this giant monster who Morgana identifies as Skaith. And she says to Skaith to go after them. The Sora of the real world collapses into a coma, and they reveal that he's like in the 4th grade or something like that. He's actually a little kid. They all meet up in Net Slum. They see with their own eyes the little girl Aura, and they know that that's the key of the Twilight. Skaith appears. He is identified by Helba to you know, she says that he's a monster like none other, that he has massive amounts of data, and they basically have no chance of defeating it. So instead of, you know, giving them the chance to fight it, she took the best action, and she decided to delete the whole area. And she shut it down, and that forced everybody to log out, including Tsukasa, who then wakes up at a hospital, and here's where they finally reveal for sure that he's actually a girl. So Tsukasa walks down the street, gets past a girl in a wheelchair, and they look at each other, and they know each other, and now she found Subaru in the real world. They say hi, they run towards each other, and now we know that they're gonna hang out in the real world, and that's how the series ends. And then they show this little teaser where Morgana is like saying, you know, like that Morgana is still in the world and the events will continue, and they will continue on .hack Infection. Thank you all for watching. Sorry for the background noises of animals and whatever, but that's where I live. And I hope you like this brief explanation. I try and make it as brief as possible and detailed. If you want to watch the series, I believe you can find them on YouTube, or you can download them, or you can buy them, I don't know. So this has been Usumachi. Thank you for watching, and soon I'll be uploading .hack sign. See you guys then.